Ramblings of a Music Teacher, Episode 3, How to Play Anything Fast. A recent viewer commented on one of my Grade 8 videos. As a Grade 3, this is the most depressing thing to watch. I doubt I'll ever get that good. Have you ever felt like that when looking at a new piece that seems impossible? I'm sure we all have at some time. But today, I want to let you into a secret that you can play pretty much anything you want to and faster than you ever thought you could. So what is the secret? Well, basically, to play fast, you need to practice slowly. Sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? But it's not. Let's backtrack here. When you were a baby just learning to feed yourself with a spoon, probably a large percentage of your food ended up on your face rather than in your mouth. As time went on, you gradually got more accurate at knowing where your mouth was, so that now, or at least I hope so, you can feed yourself without major mishaps. You have developed muscle memory. Your muscles that put the spoon in your mouth remember what to do by themselves without you having to think about it. This muscle memory was developed by repeating the same action over and over again. The same applies to learning a piece of music. You need to get to a point where you can play a piece without thinking about it, where your fingers just know where they are going on their own. And to do this, there are a few basic principles you need to apply. First, you need to start at a speed which is easy and comfortable. There must be absolutely no hesitation. If you can't maintain the beat, it's too fast. I have many students who try and learn a piece and keep stopping and stumbling every couple of bars or even every couple of notes. This is pointless practice. Secondly, you must use exactly the same fingering every time you practice this passage. If you are training your muscles to work on their own without thinking about it, they must repeat over and over exactly the same action with the same fingers. Okay, a little bit strangely, but let's go back to my analogy of a baby learning to feed itself. The process would be slightly more complicated if every time its mouth was in a different place. Thirdly, practice in sections. Don't try and tackle the whole piece in one go. But a word of caution here. When practicing in sections, always overlap a bar or two from the preceding and following sections. Otherwise, there will likely be gaps and stumbles when you put the sections together. Fourthly, use a metronome. Apart from the piano itself, of course, a metronome is probably the most used piece of equipment that I have. When you have found a speed you can comfortably master, very gradually increase the speed. The traditional steps on an old-fashioned metronome are a good guide. That is, lower than 60 beats per minute, increase only by 2 beats per minute every time. Then above 60 and up to 72 beats per minute, you can increase by 3 at a time. Above 72 up to 120, by 4 at a time. I tend not to go much faster than 120 with a metronome, because it starts to beat so fast it gets harder to follow. So, when I reach this point of 120, I would often change the beat. For example, a quaver that is equal to 120 is the same as a crotchet equal to 60. The same is true for very slow metronome beats. Anything less than 50 starts to get difficult to follow. It's better to subdivide the beat. So instead of crotchet 40, try a quaver 80. Fifthly, reach that magic moment. What is the magic moment, you ask? The magic moment is when you have started to increase the speed, and then you begin to realize that you weren't even thinking about what you did. Your fingers just went on autopilot, and you finish practicing a certain passage and say to yourself, "How did I just do that?" This is a great feeling, and from there the sky is the limit. Keep increasing the speed up to the desired tempo. Sixthly, once you have technically mastered the piece, practice without a metronome. You don't want your performance to sound too mechanical. You are a musician, not a technician. And at this point, you can add the creative nuances, maybe changing the tempo for stylistic reasons, rather than just because it's too difficult to play fast. I challenge you to use this method on a piece you are finding problematic, and maybe come back and comment here when you've found that magic moment. But for now, thank you for listening, and come back next Thursday for more ramblings of a music teacher.